The SS Barrowby, 6,000 tons Liberty ship built in Maryland in Chesapeake Bay in America. A Liberty ship is a ship that during the Second World War delivered food, munitions and everything necessary to sustain the population of the UK because German raiders had cut off our food supplies from the rest of the world. The Barrowby had delivered her cargo to Liverpool and had reloaded with armaments which was going to Ghana and West Africa. The idea of sending armaments to Ghana and West Africa was to thwart the Germans' U-boat raiders and to prevent them from forming bases in Africa, which then would have interfered with the delivery of food coming from Australia and New Zealand and other countries to Britain. But for reasons that we cannot fathom to this day, Liverpool and Ardglass are well apart, and the Barrowby landed up on the rocks in Ardglass, fully laden with guns, ammunitions, and all the essentials to prevent German raiders getting into West Africa. In Belfast, they sent round tugboats and lighters, which are flatbeds that float on the sea, and they loaded the cargo in there, took the cargo to Belfast, and they were able to reuse it again. But the Barrowby was stuck hard and fast. And the War Ministry decided that they would then cut the Barrowby up and take her away. This was going to last over 2 years, so they had to bring technicians and engineers to do this job. And my mother had a hotel in Ardglass, and it was called Le Chine Hotel. And the crew of the Barrowby who came to cut the ship apart stayed in my mother's hotel. They were there for nearly 2 years, back and forward of maybe an hour's walk to the ship, work for a day, cut it up and take it away. And I remember growing up and I said to my mother, "Mum, why have we got monogram sheets in our bed? That seems to be very posh to me." And it said, United States Steamship Company, stamped across the sheets. And I thought, how did we ever get sheets from the United States Steamship Company? And Mother said, when the crew stayed here, they didn't like the sheets on the bed because the sheets on the bed, Mum said, I made those out of flour bags and it said McNeil's flour on them. And they thought, well, we can get better sheets than that off the Barrowby. So they went to the Barrowby because all the stuff was still on board, and they came back and they kitted out my mum's bed. So she went from 1-star to 5-star hotel overnight with these fancy monogram sheets. The Barrowby eventually was dismantled, taken away. And about 10 years ago, whenever I was a scuba diver, when I was diving, we used to be able to go and dive on where the Barrowby was, and we could still find trinkets. And one day while diving there, I found a trinket, which was the little whistle that goes on top of the voice pipe between the bridge and the engine room of the ship. So when the captain of the ship wanted to speak to the chief engineer or the engineers on duty down in the ship, he would blow in this whistle and the whistling sound would come out in the engine room and they could go and then speak to the captain on the bridge. The Barrowby is sadly gone now and there's absolutely no trace of it in Ardglass.